everybody, today I'm bringing you a layout with this photo of my grandson in his dad's hat. I have an assortment of papers over there from really Echo Park, from the Little Man collection, and it's bits and pieces that are left over. I do still have some 12 by 12 papers, but I decided to use scraps on this because my original idea was to do sort of a vertical design, which you'll see change partway through. So I did like this striped paper there. That's from Echo Park Little Man, the dinosaurs paper. And I decided to use it to border this cardstock. And I'm doing something that I don't do a ton of, which is actually using a white cardstock background, or even using a cardstock background, but a white cardstock background especially. So I just really kind of like the way that looked with all of these papers. So that's what I'm going to do. And so right now I'm thinking I'm going to do a main vertical element there and maybe break it up a little bit with some other papers, maybe put little borders on that blue paper, but it's going to morph as I work through the layout, which of course they do. It's kind of cool that, you know, you start with an idea and it turns into something else. Sometimes that's okay. Most of the time that works out great. And I'm going to use this blue paper with kind of a little orange dot to it. That's from Little Man as well, and it's the icon paper. I just liked that blue to ground the bottom of the layout there. And it's a paper. I like the pattern, but I've been finding it very hard to use. So I decided that was a good place to use it in this particular case. So now I'm thinking about how I want to maybe put some strips of other papers here on the layout, and how that's going to, or on the layout on this piece of blue star paper, how that's going to work and how that's going to look. But I decided what I need to do is kind of glue down the top and bottom border there. And if you watched my last layout, my ATG's being a brat right now, as they often are. I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on with it, so I'm going to fool with that a little bit. So the story behind that photo is my grandson stole his dad's hat, and because he wanted to be just like Dad. If you look at pictures of my stepson when he was his age, my grandson looks so much like him, you would think it's the same child. As a matter of fact, if you asked my grandson who it is in a picture of his dad, he will say it's him, just because they look so much alike. So, which is really cool. You know, at first when he was little, none of us really thought he looked a lot like him, but as he's getting older, if you've ever seen pictures of my stepson when he was little, you really see how he really does look a lot like his dad. So anyway, I just really wanted to get it documented. Plus, I just think it's a really cute photo of him anyway, no matter what. So, and that'll be fun to have these in his albums and the little story, and, you know, to be able to compare the photos. And my ATG continues to give me problems. I'm going to Scrapbook probably later today. I'm hoping it's behaving itself after its time out of a couple days off. I work my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are very crazy, and I rarely have time to scrap because I work from very early in the morning until late at night on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then I have Thursdays off. So I usually have a nice time being able to at least get some videos voiced over or some actual scrapbooking done. So now that you know more about my personal life than you probably wanted to know. So what I've decided as I was talking to you and looking at that is I decided I actually wanted to cut that blue paper down a little bit more. And when I did it the first time, I didn't cut it evenly. So then I looked at this and decided what I really wanted to do was put some space between those two blocks there, instead of having it right on it. And then I really loved this 100% boy card there. So I'm trying to figure out now how to use that. And that card is from L Studio Cameron, the journaling tags. So I decide, you know what, I really got a grid going here. Let's actually do a grid layout. And so I grabbed this navy star paper from the Little Man collection. And I'm sorry, I don't actually have a paper name on that one anymore. Usually I'm pretty good about getting that, and I forgot to get it for you. But it is from Little Man as well. This is a part of a scrap of paper left for me. That orange dot paper there, also with the orange, with all the different colored stars in there, is from Echo Park Little Man, and it's the dots paper, to make that really easy. So now I'm just kind of looking and trying to figure out what I'm doing here. I did like that word precious, and I thought it was kind of cool because I think he is kind of precious here, and I really wanted to use it. It's one of the last pieces I have of these wood veneers from Little Davis that I bought on clearance at a closeout store. But they're just not, the blue is off from the rest of the blues in this layout, even though I have a couple different colors of blue going on. So I'm just getting my grid down, trying to get some of my spacing right here, and trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to want to journal, but I can't journal on that 100% boy card, which is what I will do a lot of times. So I need to figure out how that's going to happen. I found that high 5 arrow in a pack of Elf Studio Cameron cutouts, or it's not, it's a sheet and you cut things out of it, but I had already cut it out for something else and not used it. So I just pulled that. And now when I was going through, I found this little card as well that says memo, and then it says hashtag favorite guy on the bottom of that, and that's from the Elf Studio cutouts as well. That one I actually had to cut apart a little bit. And that's where I'm going to end up journaling. That'll give me just enough paper, enough room. I found this cute kids sticker here from Bella Boulevard Tiny Tots, the trinkets, and I thought that did a really nice job of just taking up a little bit of that space below the photo. So I'll use that to take up that space, and then I'm going to put a piece of foam adhesive underneath that high 5, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. So that'll help. While I've been talking to you, I've been doing just a little bit of research. If I sounded a little bit distracted. I found the name of the star paper is actually called journaling cards, 3x4 journaling cards, because it actually on the back of it has journaling cards on it. So I found that for you. And that's from Little Man again, the journaling cards paper. So I found this little star heart sticker from the sorry, I didn't write that down. I believe, oh, here it is. It's from Bella Boulevard Max from the Trinkets. And so I'm going to pop that up there on the 100% boy card just to give that a little bit of a dimension. Max, I think, was a boy collection from Bella Boulevard. So I have a sticker sheet from there. And then I found this arrow here, arrow sticker from the Tiny Tots Trinket sticker sheet again. And that says, "You're awesome." So I just thought that was really cute. So now that gives me a couple of areas, 3 kind of areas of little dimensional embellishments there. I was tapping the orange star paper there because that's where I know my title is going to go. And now I just have to find something that's going to fit it. And my original idea for this title was going to be Just Like Daddy, but as I'm working through these, you'll see I don't have enough D's, or things just aren't working. And I really like this alphabet right here, this foam letter alphabet, but I'm realizing there aren't enough D's to spell daddy. And then I don't have enough E's as well. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. So I go to another alphabet to try to figure out if I want to use that one. And I like this alphabet, but it's just not as good of a match. That other one was a little bit too green. This one's a little, the one I end up using is a little bit less green. And the name of that alphabet to the right there that I'm going to use is the American Crafts Thickers, of course, and it's in the doll font. I don't have a color because it doesn't have one, it's just green. I am going to go to my Bella Boulevard chipboard letters here because I like the color of these. They're really perfect for this, but the problem is they're so big, it won't work. I won't be able to get enough of the title on there because I really wanted it to say something about Just Like Daddy. And even if I had just done the word daddy, which I was thinking about doing the word daddy, and tried to do a mixed font title, there wouldn't have been really enough room above the word daddy to get anything on there. And so I'm putting down my title when I realized that that might cause me a problem because I just put the word dad at the end instead of the beginning. I just grabbed instead of grabbing my wax paper, I just grabbed the packaging from the thickers there because I can use that to stick the thickers down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to, as Sarah Swan says, I'm going to MacGyver a C into an E. All you do is you take the C and you just take a period and put it in the middle and you have an E, which is really easy. I do that all the time. And there's my J. My other problem is I don't have an S, and I'm really going to MacGyver something to make an S here, a small S. Anyway, a lot of times you can take an 8 and make it into an S, but the 8s were too big in this particular set. I do that all the time too. So what I end up doing is I do grab the 8 and I'm going to have to cut it down a couple of times to get it to be in an S. So I had to cut out the sides of it first to make the shape of the S, and then I'm going to have to cut part of the top and part of the bottom and just kind of leave the middle there so I can get the height properly. And the cool part is on my layout now, you can tell a little bit that it's been kind of constructed, but not really. I really had to look, and honestly it's been probably about 3 or 4 days since I made this layout. It's been 4 days since I made this layout, and I forgot for a second what I actually did. I was thinking I had MacGyvered the capital S. I didn't. I MacGyvered the 8. So that's a good tip for everybody, is use your 8s for S's. If there's lowercase font, it's a little bit easier because then you just have to cut out the sides. All right, I'm just getting down the title there. I realized I forgot to put the period in for to make the E a C, and then the ones for the J and the I as well, or period, dot. Okay, and I'm just looking at this again thinking, can I do anything else? And I see these little, I don't even know what to call these punctuations marks here, but I decided I would like a little bit of green, of that springy green up towards the top of the layout, and now it's making a diagonal from the title just to kind of bring the title into the layout so that that particular light green is also up at the top there. It's in the star papers, but the blue star paper, but it's not anywhere else. So it kind of looks like the heart has little wings, which is fine. Just doing a little bit of organizing. The reason I did this is I love that alphabet, but it is very glittery, and the glitter was all over my mat and me, actually. So what I had to do there is I forgot to check the date, or sometimes I forget I check the date and then forget to really look at it. But anyway, so I rechecked the date, so I had the date for the dating the layout. I date all of my layouts because, you know, I go back 20 years now and look at pictures of me, or even further back in college days, and I can't remember dates of anything, even things that like were important, you know, years, months, that kind of stuff is gone. So I always date my layouts. Here's the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you are all well. Take care. Bye.